Today is Thursday, May 3rd, and the biggest election in the world is being held in London. For mayor, Boris Johnson, the incumbent, running against the man he replaced, Red Ken Livingstone. This has been attracting a huge amount of national attention, including Newsweek International's British edition cover story, because it is seen as potentially a referendum on austerity. David Cameron's Tory government, very unpopular in the polls, but Boris, who is a colorful character but also a Tory, has been leading in the polls in London, what has traditionally been a pretty Labour-friendly city. What are you making of this race right now?
I think it's one of the most fascinating races in all of Europe. One, because it was very polite. It was never aggressive, never, and I don't think
as opposed to
France,
yes,
or even to Spain.
Right.
The issue here is Cameron himself came out saying, don't punish the local politicians for what we are doing, because they are not involved. Look at what they are doing themselves. And I think English people are smart. They look at what every one of these candidates are offering and what they stand for. Right. And I think the actual mayor is very funny. He's somebody that's walks around hugging children and talking to women, and he seems, you know, like a regular guy. He doesn't even comb his hair.
He is unkempt.
Exactly, and he's not extreme. And in this moment, the other one actually, it seems as a little bit extreme. He spoke about the Muslim community in a very friendly way in a country that had 2 terrorist attacks, 2005 and 2006. So it will not pay off for him.
I think that's a fascinating analysis, because the problem with Ken Livingstone isn't that the city would normally be Labour friendly, but Ken Livingstone is decidedly not New Labour in the spirit of Tony Blair. Instead, he's sort of a throwback. He's been a bomb thrower his whole career, and the more extreme candidate can alienate even in a city that would otherwise go his way. The fact that Boris Johnson,
the moderates.
Exactly, you need the centrist core of support to win an election, even in a big city where people do tend to be more progressive than conservative. And the fact that Boris Johnson, some polls showing him up slightly, 6 points. Now, the only poll that matters is on election day. But if he's able to buck these national trends, because he's a guy with big personality, and he seems less extreme than his opponent, that's a fascinating message about politics that transcends the nation.
That's a strategy. He wants to show that he's the mayor of everyone and everybody. He can talk to the Muslim community, but he can talk to the Jews. He doesn't have any, he talks to everyone as equal. Obviously, his record as a mayor wasn't brilliant. I mean, many people see the city as run by his assistants and other people.
He's sort of a cheerleader rather than an administrator.
Exactly, yeah. And he goes to all kind of parties. But the issue here is about how he presents himself. And this is what we saw in France. In France, we will see that Hollande will have an advantage in the race simply because he was cool and calm, and he stepped as statesman, not as a politician, thinking about the next generation, not the next election. I think if Boris will play this card, probably he will be the winning.
Well, it's going to be fascinating to watch tonight. Election returns coming in. Biggest election in the world tonight, taking place in the city of London. It's all from us from NewsBeast. We'll see you tomorrow.